Hello there, and welcome to today's message. Normally on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I will be uploading tarot for you guys, but I woke up and felt like something had shifted. Like in the night, something has shifted, and we need a little bit of a different message than what would have been delivered. Maybe you'll get a bonus reading this week since, we have that. But all that being said, I feel like for a lot of you, you maybe had a dream that was a little bit upsetting because it very much reminded you of maybe something that we've been avoiding in our waking life. And we just need a little bit of a reminder. For a lot of us, we need a reminder that we are not alone, right? I think that for a lot of you, these kinds of thoughts, whatever was kind of triggered by that dream, might have sent us into a spiral, and we brought in a lot of other issues. And I'm seeing someone kind of like zoom out, and so like the issues kind of get bigger and bigger, and you're like, I'm seeing some of the like factors in like the world's problems when they think about how they'll ever be able to overcome their own problems. And then you kind of like continue to zoom out and you think about like all the misery of the world, which is a lot to put on yourself like before 6 in the morning, you know what I mean? So I'm going to read Article 6 from the Christ letters because I asked to be shown a message to give, and I literally flipped right to this page. So I will read these. It's just two and not even a half, no, about 2.5 pages. And then I will talk a bit about guides and spirit teams and things like that, because I think for a lot of us, we need that reminder that, appearances and what we are, the first thing that we tune into in this visible reality is not all that there is, and that you do have a lot of help, so much help, if you will allow it. Okay, let's get started. Article 6. You are not alone. Christ says, I have come to speak to you in colloquial language as far as I am able, to reach people who have not yet found my letters and who presently see no reason to read them. In fact, my letters, explaining what I taught in Palestine and giving further explanation of the origins of creation, will give receptive people the means to overcome every difficulty encountered in existence. This may sound like a far-fetched claim, but it is nonetheless true. The letters give you the information known to true masters who showed that they had control of atomic states of being by controlling the elements and creating food and objects from nothing. I also controlled the elements, healed and created necessities, and was only able to do so because I possessed the deep and secret knowledge I have shared with you in my letters. Do not compare my message to you with the messages from others. Everyone has their unique mission and purpose in life, and mine is exclusively to give you the exact means to lift yourselves out of your present turmoil of existence, nothing else. Therefore, my messages may be repetitive, but they are directed solely to inspiring and helping you to make a decision to follow Christ's way, my way, no matter how difficult you may find that way to be. You will persevere because along my way, you will find rewards which will prove to you that you are definitely on the right path. But you cannot put foot to my way until you realize fully and completely that the entire universe is consciousness, awareness made visible through the interaction of electrical particles and magnetism. This is fully explained in letters 5 and 6, but reading alone will not make you a master. A true master understands that the origin of all creation is universal consciousness, and that it is the divine source of all love and intelligence. To be a true master, a person has to understand the way the universe has come into being, know intimately the true nature of universal consciousness, and has to so purify himself of the impulses of ego that he is absolutely free of all ego impurities in his mind and emotions. Of all ego impurities in his mind and emotions. When he reaches this state of inner cleanliness of thought, feeling, and action, never demanding of others, but willing and eager to give to the uttermost of all he possesses, because he knows perfectly well that he can have anything he needs, he will be a perfectly open channel of divine consciousness, which is the creative impulse within this dimension of visible creation. When he has achieved such a state of inner purity and cleanliness, he will live in a state of inner joy, peace, and unconditional love. He will understand the living world and the difficulties such living things encounter and feel an immediate and spontaneous love and compassion for all. He will have transcended the world and its millions of self-interests, self-indulgences, experiences of despair, fear, revenge, hatred, slander, and gossip, rejection of others. All these worldly activities will go on around him, but he will not experience them himself. He will only feel boundless compassion and love for them. He will only long and yearn passionately to teach the world the truth of being. He will make every sacrifice with joy to help people understand the truth and live it in their every thought, word, deed. He will do this because it will be painful for him to know that as people stubbornly persist in their own way, thinking, feeling, reacting in any way that their emotions prompt them to do, they are only creating more of the same misery, which has driven them to seek a way out of it. When people eventually find their way out of the morass of their chaotic thinking and emotional reactions, they discover that this is the only true way to happiness, and they are exceedingly relieved and grateful that they have managed to surmount their habits of thought and feeling which previously pulled them down into experiences causing them pain and misery. Do not marvel or question that it is truly I, the Christ, speaking to you. I come to speak to you through the total emptiness of my recorder's mind and heart, and speak those things which are necessary for you to know, to start to put behind you the sadness and despair of the past, and to give you the courage and incentive to start anew, daily meditating and drawing into your human consciousness the divine consciousness which brought you into being in the world. Above all, I want you to understand you are not alone in your struggle to live comfortably and happily. You are not alone in your battle to change your habits of thoughts and feeling. The more you call upon for divine consciousness, even if it is only a momentary connection you set up, you are drawing into your consciousness new life and moments of intelligence and love, which will inspire you to an even greater degree as you persevere and do not lose heart. As you call on me, you will make contact with my Christ consciousness and will eventually be aware of my response and instruction when you have questions to ask. Remember that it takes time to purify your thoughts and emotions and negative reactions to other people. Until you have got rid of your deep and darkest feelings of anger, vitriolic criticism, rejection, resentment, and frustration, you will not be able to hear my voice. Remember that to receive even my first whispers in the silence of your meditation or during a moment of inner quiet, you have to make changes in your consciousness. You have to become fully aware that love is the only way to freedom, and this takes patience and time. You are not alone. We who have moved into the highest echelons of spiritual realization and divine consciousness have only love for you, and our most urgent desire is for your escape from travail and your progression into light, wisdom, and unconditional love. And that is the end of Article 6. All I have to say is very brief when it comes to spirit teams right now. Maybe in a future video, or maybe even this Saturday's video, we will see. We can change some stuff around. Everyone has a spirit team, and there are different, let's call them levels or ranks to different positions within spirit teams. And people, you've probably heard them use these titles somewhat interchangeably when people talk about ancestors and guides, and maybe for people talk about guardians. People will talk about their ancestors like they kind of span these positions, and I guess the semantics doesn't really matter. But it is just to say that you have so many beings on your team that it's not even funny. And you have some guides that will come in and help you with specific things, specific lessons, or things that you ask for. and then take a step back, and another guide, will help you with other things. You do have ancestors and deceased loved ones. You have people that you don't even know from your lineage, generations back, that love you and support you and want the best for you, and are also learning lessons, in spirit that are like affecting it. There's so much to the massive interconnected web of all that there is. You truly are connected to everything, um, everything that you need is within you. I did also pull an oracle just to close it out, and I pulled number 9, which is remember your crown, queen. It's a picture of a little swan with a crown on their head. Maybe I'll start making that the background thumbnail. It's like the picture of whatever oracle for each message. Okay. It says, it's okay if you stumble, fall, or fail. It's okay if your crown slips, queen. But your circumstances do not dictate who you are and what you're worth. Your soul does. And your soul is golden, descended from a royalty beyond human comprehension. Now is not the time to criticize yourself or shrink into any version of approval that's too small for you. Pull your shoulders back. Glide, even through troubled waters. Real queens honor their internal wealth and straighten each other's crowns. I don't know what has got you down, babes. But you are not alone. I think you're doing great, and you should definitely keep going. I'll see you next time. Love you. Bye.